television network Blowout, which is a syndicated live program of the network. We will bring you conversation on special interest topics. We'll do this with news, events, and stories, and of course, correspondent reports, expert opinions, and stakeholders analysis. Today on ATM Blowout, bring you Anchor's Chat. Nigerian man allegedly burns his certificate out of frustration. That's on Anchor's Chat. I will take off on off-cycle elections. ICPC arrests suspected vote buyers, seize 4,101,750 naira. On off-cycle elections, steel groups urge INEC to investigate pre-filled result sheets cases. And off-cycle elections, steel group ask INEC to clarify locations where voting didn't hold. On security, NAV discloses airstrikes against terrorists in Borno State. Back to off-cycle elections, where Hariwa says advises parties who lost elections to shelf tribunal. Literally, there is no point going to the tribunal. Still on off-cycle election, South Africa says only 80% of disabled persons voted. We're still in off-cycle election. Police Service Commission staff monitors give officers fast mark. In Kogi State, INEC sets November 18 for polls in affected 59 polling units. Our guest on the show this morning is none other than the State Director for National Orientation Agency, Rivers State, Barrister Ayo Tamono Young. Stay with us. We'll come back to you on Anchor's Chat after the break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATM.
to Anchor's chat. So, yesterday I saw a trending video where a man said, for 13 good years, he graduated from university. He hasn't been able to get a proper job. That as a matter of fact, he happened to find himself in a situation where it turned out that he's even struggling to bid for a job with people who didn't go to any school. So out of that frustration, he decided to burn his certificate. Well, allegedly so. I mean, you know what I mean, yeah? Can make photocopies of these things, burn a different thing, and make it look like you're burning the real thing. But let's talk about this, because it looks like the number of angry Nigerians, or the level of anger that Nigerians feel about this country and themselves, seem to be getting out of hand or getting beyond what we could actually comprehend. But we'll bring you that video. We'll come back to the conversation afterward.
Oh, stand. Just start from me. I don't know. You don't record of it? See, I want to burn my certificate. I won't burn my certificate. I don't finish school now. 13 good years. In fact, it don't enter 14. So I swear to God, I have not used, and this is my NYC certificate. You see, now my NYC certificate with this. An
original one.
Now my original one with this, limited. Now the school I finished from with this. You see, that's my university. Now this is my primary school, Command Children's School. It's now Lungi Barracks. It was Gardiner School Barracks. My file for my, in fact, this is my jam, but it's useless.
Why you want to burn yourself?
Why I want to burn them? See, 13 years, and I swear, every job what I don't do, now job where I dey drag with people who no go school. So why you can't get, what's the essence of certificate? What I want burn am now. I go burn everything now. More no say now job, because this country now to get certificate be like waste of time. If you're in a certificate we get for this country, you won't travel out. They go they tell you say you know if you use the certificate, you go relearn something. So why you having this rubbish? Even to be president now, you feel for a certificate. This is it. Look at where. This is my NYC. See am. Record them. Now my NYC with this. Laminated. This one is my secondary school.
No bond this certificate now, babe.
Okay, this one is primary school. I no been at secondary school. Man, no born waiting. This is my.
You don't know the day where work go come now.
My brother, maybe we know all of us now, eh? Maybe we know say for the country. Now work where illiterate they do, person no go school.
In the Bonamo.
I never start. I don't want to make a fire catch. Don't be this so.
In the Bonamo.
Don't be say cha.
Why they burn your certificate?
There is no essence. That is okay with this. You finish school. See, I even advise, show my face, make it. I advise. Now be this, show this again. Now be this. In this country now, you better say you go learn work. Say you learn work. And I'm telling you the truth. Now, waiting for swimming partner say of recent, person why they go beg for work. Now my friend for primary school, we no go university. And this is 13 good years. I finished school 2010. Go serve my nonsense nation. See, I'm now my NIC with this. I finish. See the number. I can go and cross check it. Laminated. Nonsense. Nigeria. I don't want to curse Nigeria, but Nigeria they curse itself. Maybe we know see all of us with the drag. See now, you don't come about ha. Maybe they drag work with illiterate people. I swear. Now it's been 13 good years when me I finish school, no job. Now why they born this thing? I say for like 1 week now, I don't get insomnia, no feel sleep. Cause they look and now say every job what I don't do. Now job where they don't ask for my certificate. Job where they pay me money, where they feel pay illiterate, where no go school. Maybe this. My bro, get handwork. Get handwork. Those are parents will tell us, say, I'll send you. You go and learn electrician like a punishment. No be punishment. Carry your picking, make it learn handwork. At the first, not burner. Learn now. The bottom line is, Baba, learn handwork. Learn handwork. Make your picking. If you be parent, this country, because we get president where they say get Chicago case. We all know the truth about that case. He's still the president, and we can't say we get one certificate. I don't burn now. Don't burn, make it burn well. I put more fire. You know, be church or church.
The thing don't burn to ashes finish.
My brother.
God. See graduates, they burning certificates. Which country?
Maybe go give me closure for like 1 week now. I no fit sleep. I can't carry my file. I'll go on sleep. I'll say 13 years. I finished school 2010. I did my NYC 2010, 2011. Till today, I swear I never use the certificates. Get any one job. Maybe they do the literate job. Make everybody knows I'm literate.
Sir, you don't go finish yourself.
God damn it. Nonsense.
Hi! Graduate burning certificate. This country. God help us.
Okay, like I said, it's looking like the number of angry Nigerians are getting out of hand. As a matter of just, I've just been told that there was another young man or man who committed suicide somewhere in Abuja or so, who went to take a loan, somehow couldn't repay the loan, had to mix up some stuff. And Sniper, I thought they said Sniper has been banned from the market, well, maybe open market. But here's the thing, let's talk about the angry Nigerian who decided to say, I've had enough of this, I'm done with this certificate thing, it's not realistic. Yes, that could be just a skit, just to make believe, you know what I mean, to make it look like, oh, I'm angry. But if that is a skit, I think that young man needs to be picked and, you know, made to be an example of some sort, not in a mean way. But the thing is, if that is not a skit, again, he should also be picked up. If that is a skit, he should also be picked up, because now you are going to be influencing a lot of persons who feel that that is okay. And before you know it, you know what I mean. I'm not saying that he wants to influence anybody, but what is the essence of putting it out there? You could have just burned your stuff. It's your private business anyway, without putting it out there. I mean, people do all sorts in the name of skits these days. But if it is still not a skit, I also think that this picking up right now is not by law enforcement agencies, but by family members who needs to really get his mind checked. If that was not a skit, if indeed he burns his certificate in anger because he feels that, oh, it's not worth it. He talked about President Tinubu's Chicago State University, or we know what, yes, we know, but hey, that is not the end of it all. So because you have a president with a questionable certification, or other questions around maybe the drug, the narcotic issues around him. So because of that, you will decide to say, okay, you want to burn your certificate. You don't see any reason to, you know, give yourself a chance. How long is he going to be in office? If he makes it to the end of his tenure, that's his first tenure, that's 4 years, and I guess that's another 4 years. So you destroy everything you have to spend, your years, your time, money expended by your parents. And I think if this is real, the family really need, like I said, they need to get him to a shrink. That mind, something is off somewhere. Because what did the certificate do to you? If you feel, for instance, that certificate is not, it hasn't been able to help you fetch a job or something, that's fair. Just pack it up. If I dash it to your family member, dump it somewhere. Just forget about it. And just tell yourself, wherever you get, just tell them, I didn't go to school, or I have this skill, I can do this. You can also dump the certificate, for instance, then go and pick up skills. Ask yourself, what am I good at? What skill can I pick up that would help me to better my life? I think it's far better to do that than to say, what are you burning your certificate for? And this is not actually the first time we've had people come to say this certificate is useless. Well, maybe it is useless to you, but the people who spent their money to send you to school, that certificate is not useless to them. So you can actually package it, return it to your family members. If your parents are not there anymore, your older ones or family, some relative, just give it to them. Okay, I dash you this thing. I've come to a point where I know that having all of this certificate is not doing anything for me. So what it means is, let me just, pack up and just begin to tell when I get into a job. And the mindset, that mindset of his again, is what I'm trying to figure out. What could have limited him so badly to think that because you could not be able to get a job? Again, what kind of jobs are you looking for? Are you even qualified for the jobs you're looking for? I have had a situation, like I've said on several occasions on the show here, someone who claimed to have studied mass communication, not even with linguistics. I mean, anyone who studied linguistics and mass communication know what I'm talking about. And that is a journey on its own. That's like having two courses together. So I have people who just studied mass communication, which should be one of the easiest courses out there. Somehow they will come in, they don't even know the difference between A and B in mass communication, in the industry. They can't even speak proper English. Forget about proper English. Basic English to defend themselves. All of these are thrown out there, are put out there, yet they give themselves a fighting chance. Then for you, who said, okay, you have these certifications, you've not been able to do anything with it for 13 years, you've been struggling with jobs, okay, you now decide to burn your certificate and make a showy display of it so that we can feel what? No. I think that's messed up. There is no sense in that. Now, back to what I was saying about being qualified for jobs. There are people who actually, when you say, I've not gotten a job, I've not gotten a job. The truth is, several people are giving jobs that they claim to be qualified for. They end up being a very sour grape in the mouths of those they are working with in the organization that even employ them. Because they're either coming with one unethical sense of entitlement. I know the industry where I work, for instance. You see people work into an organization claiming to be something, and then when you give them opportunity, they fall flat on their face. And it doesn't matter what training you give them. And these are the class of individuals that come with this entitlement mentality. And then because they feel like, okay, there's an opportunity for them to do something, and then someone brings them in, maybe because there's a need to fill a vacuum, and then you come in and you're having an ethical sense of entitlement, when in actual sense, you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. And somebody's supposed to employ you. So the question again is, when you finish, we know what the Nigerian university is like, yeah? We know very well that you have situations where people, quote and unquote, claim to be certain thing which they are not. I mean, you know what that is. So you go to university, the lecturers try their best with what they have to educate you. But what do you do for yourself afterwards? I know students in school who come in here for IT. They say, okay, well, I want to study. I want to find time during my academics and come over here so I can learn something in this field so that I can do A, B, C, D, and Z, which is good, which I appreciate, because what that means is that instead of sitting down and whiling away your time, running around social media, being a fan to someone who happens to have found a way to be famous on one thing or the other, quarreling and wasting your time on social media, you could actually begin to learn blogging. You could actually begin to log in any of these things by being around the industry where you are, where you're studied. What that does for you is that it helps you to become even better than your peers by the time you're done with university. What are you paying attention at? You're studying, for instance, you're studying medicine, and you're busy with something else that is not in line with what you do. Who are the doctors you're following on social media? There are doctors who are doing very well on social media. How many of them are you following? there are several of them. Let me not begin to mention names here. For instance, they are doctors. They studied like you studied medicine right now. They graduated. They are working somewhere, but they've been able to convert the virtual world into another skill, bring another skill into it. They are either educating people or teaching people, yeah, one thing or the other. Some of them are into health awareness in terms of exercises, take care of yourself, diet, what you need to do, and all of that. There are several of these doctors, locally and internationally. How many are you following? How many are you learning from? How many are you allowing to mentor you, even if you don't have access to them directly? You're studying, you're in the mass communication industry, for instance. I usually tell people when I'm training them, go and pick someone you can be learning from, like pick something from them. Every time you observe what they are doing, people don't need to mentor you directly. Someone can mentor you by you going to look at for them and pick on what they are doing. So you don't leave university, you don't have the requisite skill or relevant skill that can give you a job in the industry of choice, and now you're blaming everybody. Okay, what have you done to ensure that with this certificate I have, I can actually be an excellent service provider in the industry where I find myself? So all of this blame game, I don't know where you think the word is fair. When you travel abroad, you and that certificate will still end up somewhere because it is the skill that counts. Some of the menial jobs that you can pick up abroad where you're able to jackpot, like we say, your certification don't really matter. Look at this Canadian stuff that is everywhere. They're sending you 100 meals at the same time because they need your skill. So yes, skill is critical. I agree with him on that. But what are you doing as an undergraduate? What are you doing as a graduate to ensure that you have the requisite skill that would make someone say, I think you know what you're doing. Can you come and work for me? What value do you bring to the table? Which of the talents do you have? How have you developed that into a skill? So we can sit down here and get angry at Tinubu, get angry at Nigeria, claim it is upside down and all of that. What are you doing for yourself? Let me tell you something. Sometimes I don't agree, by the way, with this NYC thing where they have to send someone 1 year youth service. You studied marketing, for instance, and they send you to go and be a teacher in one primary school somewhere. I don't agree with those things, but that's where we find ourselves, isn't it? Okay, let's even assume that you studied marketing and now you are not meant to be a teacher in that 1 year. In a primary school or a secondary school, you know how it is. Let's even assume that that is the case and you decide to do that. That's fair. However, did you take time while in that teaching process? I know that even as a copper, before they give you something to do, the school will have to put you through on what they do and how they do it. At your free time, do you observe other teachers? Have you gone around the school to look at for exceptional teachers? Adobe, for instance, Adobe Amadi, for instance, she's my Facebook friend and a friend. Adobe Amadi is one of the exceptional public school teachers that you can think of in this, at least in Rivers State here. And she's so good at her job, and she loves, and you know the thing is, as a couple, you get into a school like that, and you figure out, okay, this is one of the good teachers. Go to them, let them teach you what they are doing, how they are exceptional. Again, there are a lot of search engines online today. The internet, the data you're buying is not just to watch celebrities' videos from morning till night. Give yourself some education with all of that. Help yourself get some education. How do I mean? Yes, you're right now in this 1 year of youth national service, what you're doing is you've been assigned to be a teacher. But you know you can actually be exceptional in that teacher, in that community. You can actually be exceptional. You can actually, without it, you know that you're not being paid for. You can actually begin to do lessons for these children. You can actually begin to, you know, for those who cannot afford it, you can actually gather these children in a community hall or something and begin to see how you can start, teach them, bring about quiz, spelling bees. There are several things you can do because the more you do those things, you're honing your skill. Who told you that you cannot finish there and you're given an appointment to become something in education that helps to improve the quality of education in that community where you serve or even somewhere else? Now, let's say you studied marketing and you find yourself in an institute, an advertising institution, for instance. What are you doing with that? Are you learning, or you're busy competing with your superiors? You want to wear the wig they are wearing, you want to have the phone they have, you want to dress the way they are dressed, because that is what a lot of you do. You don't pay attention to ensuring that you have no quality value that you bring to the table. Because you watch all of these celebrities abroad and all of that. Kim Kardashian, for instance, she has gotten a deal with NBA with her schemes. And now you look at her, you're like, you want to be Kim. Do you know how much sleepless nights she spends to ensure that those designs come forth? Do you know how much hard work she had to put in to ensure she got to the point where she got to? But what you see is the fame, but you don't know the story behind that fame. And you just want to be that person. And then you come into an organization, you're given a job, and then you're not even able, you know you don't have the requisites of you to humble yourself to learn. You start feeling like you're the next thing after, okay, some people will say Ewa or Ewa Goy. I don't know. Maybe the next thing after Santa Claus is almost Christmas, so I can use that. In all of this, all I'm saying is burning your certificate because you feel like you're competing with people who don't have the requisite skill, the certification you have, but they have the skill, and that's why they're giving. I think that is hallucination taken too far. Someone has got to call this man somewhere, sit him down, and begin to tutor, check, have got one thing or the other that they are battling with. It's not like it's an exception. Yeah, I know he's not. I know a mentor who today is being called by international companies and all. He graduated with a first class. And for the first more than 15 years, if not 20 years, one of the sound minds I've ever come across. Humble character, relevant skill, but he never really got a proper job. Like this guy said, he was always in a situation where he's getting menial jobs. You know, when you get to maybe oil servicing companies, you're struggling to get jobs with people who are not as educated as you are and all of that. But what did he do? He went on to hone skills in that industry. He picked up courses, even though he was doing those menial jobs. And then looking at people who were even like his bosses, he was better educated than them. Notwithstanding, he had the right attitude about it. He picked up those jobs. He learned the right thing he was supposed to learn. Even from the people that he's more certificate, he had better certificates than. He learned a whole lot. Today, years down the line, his kids are grown. Most people are graduated from universities. This is his glory time. He's been called by international organizations without even applying to come do different things for them. What had happened, the skills he picked up working with people who are on beneath his grade level or education level, and he's like the young man or education level, and he's like the young man who played his video. People with this kind of mindset are people with limited mindset, people with entitlement mentality, people who feel like everything should be done for them. Because you feel like you're better than, because you went to university, so you're better than the man who can fix the tire very well or drive properly. That is the problem. Who told you that? Because he doesn't have a certification. It is the glory we have given to university education that they are better than. No, I don't agree with that. If you went to a vocational school, for instance, and you can do, I'm looking for someone to really deliver, I'm going to go for the person who presented his vocational certification as someone who did that. Because along the line, when the test was done, we discovered that this is what it is. So I just want to wrap this up by saying that in as much as I've pointed all the odds about what this young man did and why we spent time on that, why we should think beyond our certifications and all of that, but not into destroying it, but rather how we can enhance what the university have given to us, whether out of school or while in school. I've dwelt on that. But the point again, I just want to wrap up by saying that the information technology and aspect certificate. I studied this, I am this and all of that, but in that sense, you don't have the quality, the value that should come with that certificate you're carrying. That is the biggest problem. So if we can find a way to, the government can find a way, the Minister of Education can find a way, and the Commissioner for Education, go back to vocational institutions, get this vocational certificate to be certified, and let it now become relevant in the job market. Trust me, when we do that, a lot of people will not bother with these 4 years of university. That at the end of the day, doesn't even give them the relevant skill that they need to bring the right value into the job market or into any industry of choice. But if we can You don't have the emotional capacity to deliver on that. You cannot differentiate from what is personal and what is job. And then when you are queried or thrown off, you throw tantrums and look for who did. Nobody did anything to you. You are the one doing it to yourself. And until you understand that life is not a bed of roses, and like they say, even roses do have their thorns. So until we get to that point where we understand that nobody is owing you anything if you've been given the basic education in life, you can now get to ask yourself, what do I bring to the table? What value do I bring to the table? Is it enough for me to be employed in an organization? If it's not enough, take time out and get yourself trained, or find a way to study under someone. Just tell them, this is what I can do. I can read the news. I can do marketing. I can do this. Don't pay me. I just want to study under you. You'll be shocked at how many people will give you opportunity.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara,